Well, greetings and welcome back for episode 15, labeled Talking to Myself. The GOP is like a dog, philosophical labels, and a strange email response. On occasion, I do talk to myself, but I've become so banal, so tedious, that while I'm talking to myself, I'm ironically not even listening to myself talk. So the result is I initiate an internal conversation with no one on the other side, if that makes sense. Maybe I just like talking and realize that no one is listening, not even me. And perhaps this is the inception of insanity. The GOP is like the dog that chases the car, and once they catch it, like the dog, they have no idea what to do with it. And being the dogs they are, as barking dogs do, once they hear other dogs barking, they bark too, which rhymes, though they have no idea what they're barking for. All it becomes is noise, and no one knows what they're saying. So, are you a cognitive relativist, a post structuralist, a descriptive relativist, a social constructivist, an epistemic relativist, possibly a post positivist, a post empiricist? Well, if you're any of these things, you'll need to define them because I have no idea what any of them mean. Another email I sent to a coworker back in 2017, I think it was, about a question she asked me about a coworker that she was interested in. My response was, he is so smart, too smart at times. But where there is no intelligence, there is no stupidity. I love that line from the Hellstrom Chronicles. What's best for you is to keep learning, living, loving, and moving. You won't know until you've done it. Overthinking things is overrated. And what am I talking about? I don't know. That's the point. And good luck. Watchfulness and focusing is certainly useful, but intense focus needs to be diverted away to other dangers or events. After all, an animal can be so focused on its prey that it may become prey itself, or the bird that is so focused on their target that they smash into a windshield on the highway. Caution is required. Diverting all of your attention to just one thing could be deadly. Distraction can be a good thing, or rather a necessity. Subjects are often learnt best when attention was strongly distracted. According to the Maoris in New Zealand, the past is in front of us while the future is what lies behind us. I'll say that again. The past is in front of us while the future is what lies behind us. And if you really think about this, it has much wisdom to it. This is a letter that I wrote to present to the court case back in May of 2018. Which was never heard since once the case was over, I felt it wasn't necessary, which is like saying they don't care, and most likely they didn't. But here goes. In the interest of time, I want to be as concise as I can be. They say that life is complicated, and I agree. Life is complicated. But what I'm going to present to you today is what matters most, what makes life much less complicated. We are stronger and more human when we come together. People need each other. We like to see each other, talk to each other, share with each other, see each other smile and laugh, and look into each other's eyes and gaze into their damn souls. Share the time we have together. What does it all come down to anyway? Love. It's not only all you need, it's all you need to know. All else is fluff. Your fondest and most cherished moments will be when you're with other people, family, friends, coworkers, and sometimes strangers. And yes, in some cases, some of your least cherished moments too. And remember, your friends were once strangers. Heaven help the fool, they say. We're all fools, all of us. We're fools for each other. And sometimes we know not what we're doing. And it takes courage to be a fool, and you can fool the eyes and the ears, but never the heart and soul. Love reduces and expands at the same time. It reduces matters to the core, which is the love itself, and expands by learning to reach out, share, and give of oneself. Love is an interesting concept. Come into the light, you make your own day and you make your own night. But most of all, I miss you, Lucian and Solar, my grandchildren. And I want to be with you as much as I can. Okay, I got my composure back. I always imagine a cartoon in the New Yorker of a Neanderthal man or woman walking around with his to-do list. I suppose they had to have a to-do list. I can't live without one, and I would think that the wall paintings in the ancient caves are really only to-do lists. And how else would they have gotten anything done? In a brief conversation with Mary, my wife, as a reminder, She reminded me that she was not the type of person that needed to impress anyone, and I told her that she doesn't have to worry about it because she's not. Go from extreme emotions here. Anything for a laugh, and naturally she didn't laugh, and I do live dangerously. For one of our anniversaries about 15 years ago, we decided to go to Churrascaria Plataforma in Manhattan, a popular Brazilian restaurant, to have a good time, and once again we encountered one of those scenarios that had to go down in paper. After dinner, we went to another bar across the street to have a couple of more drinks, and as we found a couple of seats at the bar, Mary goes to powder her nose. A moment after she left, two women approached the bar near to where we were seated and asked me if I wanted a free Budweiser. They were Anheuser-Busch reps who invariably strolled through outdoor venues and large bars in major cities to promote their products. And strangely enough, I would encounter two more of these AB reps in Manhattan bars, and don't get me wrong, I rarely drank at bars in Manhattan. I was usually too tired and had an hour-plus commute home every day. So back to the bar. I accepted the free beer and had a brief conversation with the two reps, and soon enough, Mary returned shortly thereafter to observe these two attractive young women talking to me. And Mary is no fool, of course, but the way she stopped and looked at me was, well, very memorable. And she was quick to point out that it was our anniversary, but fortunately there was nothing to hide, and we all had a good laugh. That was a classic moment. A coworker once said to me that I wish I could be in two places at once, and I replied, no, you don't. Just think about it. And here's an interesting one. Man smart, women smarter. Man dark, women darker. Man sharp, women sharper. Man warped, women just as warped. Man snarky, women snarkier. Man slick, women slicker. You could go on and on. The story doesn't change. They have it all over on us. All right, and my last part of this segment is I love doing underrated and overrated lists. And this is the third one that I've done over the years. And naturally, they change over time. So this is my latest list of underrated things in life. These are two bands to start out with. Tower of Power, Steely Dan and or Donald Fagen, of course. James Brown, the Marx Brothers, especially Groucho. W.C. Fields, Everything, and I suppose you could label that the universe. Andy Kaufman, Women, Beer, Van Morrison, Jazz, Rhythm and Blues, and Bebop music. Underrated and overrated lists. Water, Shellfish, Johnny Carson, The Office, the TV show. Humor and laughter of any kind. Dave Chappelle, Olive Oil and Garlic, George Carlin, Tim Conway, Little Feat, that's a rock band. New Haven Pizza, Elephants, Olives, The Beach, The Baffler, which is a publication. Mel Brooks, Family Guy, the show. Edge.org, Boredom, John Coltrane, SCTV, Capers, Richard Pryor, Charlie Parker, Artichokes, Reno 911, Jackie Wilson, Little Richard, the Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald, The Rascals, a band from the 1960s. And this is a long list. Boz Scaggs, Dizzy Gillespie, War, which is another band from around the 1970s. Earth, Wind and Fire, Joe Sample, Daryl Hall, Monty Python's Flying Circus, The Band, Humphrey Bogart, Mad TV, Ray Charles, James Cagney, Bo Diddley, Hockey, that's ice hockey, NRBQ, John Garfield, NRBQ is a band also, John Garfield, Eleanor Parker, Gary Shandling, Sam Cooke, Aretha Franklin, and Stevie Wonder. And I had to stop somewhere, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.